Do you have any questions?
Yes. You got a question, Terry? We focused on canines, the dogs. Cats too?
Cats are not quite as guilty, but they can carry most of these same parasites. Cats aren't as bad for several reasons. One is their behavior. It's not uncommon to see a dog go over and eat cat stool, or eat another dog's stool, or occasionally even eat their own stool. I have never known of a cat to do that. They're clean, they're meticulous, they're rather picky about what goes in their mouths. So they typically aren't quite as infected. They're not affected to the same degree that our dogs are. If our cats are indoors and they're going in the litter box, their owners are scooping the litter box and it's going down the sanitary sewer, which takes care of all of those things. If they're going outside, if we have a cat that goes outside, they typically dig a hole and bury their stool, and it's very difficult to go around and dig that up behind them.
It's not top. So it's down.
Exactly. Cats, again, it's part of their kind of their instinctive desire to keep clean and neat, so they will actually dig a hole, defecate in that hole, and then cover it back up. So we don't have as much opportunity to pick up the cat stool. It'd be a great idea. If you see some, pick it up and throw it away. But we do have monthly preventatives for cats as well, and that will take care of their hookworms. It'll take all of these things are bad guys, but the two most common parasites that really wreak havoc in our children are the hookworms and the roundworms.
Let me speculate with you just a minute. We do a precursor to your presentation, which is stormwater. And if you can picture pet waste not picked up in this neighborhood, it rains on it, carries it down into Town Branch. Town Branch has been identified through testing by the Division of Water as being impaired, and one of the impairments is bacteria. I'm assuming this animal origin bacteria, and they're fairly narrow in what they test for, but I want to carry that. There's on the creek, just before Elkhorn Creek empties into Kentucky River, a canoe livery.
I have canoed that, Canoe Kentucky, I think.
Exactly. These parasites, the eggs, can carry that far?
Absolutely.
Become a problem if you're in the water down there?
Absolutely. Actually, in a water, in an aqueous environment, in a water environment, these things really are protected. The biggest thing that the normal bacteria and the worm itself will dehydrate, desiccate, and die very quickly. Their eggs, their cysts, their spores are in this little time capsule. They are protected so that if they're out here in the dry environment, they're pretty hardy. In a wet environment, we can have not only eggs, cysts, and spores surviving, but even, gosh, I mean, that's the environment Giardia loves. These bacteria, Salmonella, E. coli, they thrive in that environment. They will actually reproduce in that kind of an environment. So the water from if you're one of these bad guys and your intent is survival, you hope it stays wet and moist. If we look at the geographic distribution of parasites in our country, the most severely parasite-ridden part of the country is the southeast. Why? Humidity, moisture. If you get out into the arid west, I'm going to tell you these things go away, but they're not nearly the problem. The incidence of, if you look at a geographic distribution of parasite incidence, the southeast is where the parasites live.
So Canoe Kentucky hosts school children as part of their business. We've got children no different than Meadowthorpe Elementary out on the creek.
Yes.
Recreating.
Yes.
They're exposed to what we send down the creek.
Absolutely.
And there's no treatment for the stormwater.
Absolutely. And on downstream, I mean, it then hits the Kentucky River, eventually the Ohio, eventually the Mississippi, and
I'm done.